really is very simple. Love is eternal, given to the eternal by the eternal. Love is and has the highest vibration of all energies. And when it is extended, it just projects further onto the universe with even more power. But how comfortable are we as human beings, as ego side human beings, with being in the state of love without building in that fear that we may lose that love? And that's where it gets kind of tricky. And so many people seem to feel so comfortable living in a state of fear because to them it's a little bit easy. They're used to that disappointment, and they're afraid that if they go into that choice of love and be happy suddenly, that it'll be taken away. So they said instead they're going to choose to stay in that fear mode because they're comfortable with it and they won't be hurt any further or any worse. And that's a little bit of insane thinking going on there.
Well, yeah.
But that's what we're used to. It is what we're used to. And if we focus on love as the option that we choose, we start to realize that it is part of who we are. It is our natural state of being. And if we are true to ourselves, we won't want to be anything but what is naturally our inheritance, what we are naturally supposed to be, our natural essence, our state of being. And once you stay in that state of being, everything really does come a lot easier. All that what we want, when they talk about manifestation, that's when it comes in.
Yeah.
When you're in that mode. And sometimes you realize in that mode of love that which you thought was what you wanted, you really did not want.
Yeah.
And what you end up getting is what is making you happy. Suddenly realize, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what I'm supposed to have. This is where I'm supposed to be. I'm here now. I'm not further away somewhere hoping to be happy in the future. I'm happy now.
Yeah, and it's funny, how do we retrain our minds? Because it is a scientific fact that has been proven that the brain actually creates, the neurotransmitter pathways become so used to going a certain way that it creates this, neuropath in your brain that it's accustomed to. And that's what creates that, addiction to, reaction and happiness and being in that horrible job or being in that horrible relationship, because the mind is so used to it. It ingrains a pathway in our brain. But yet we have the ability to be the master of our mind, to be the master of our brain, the thought process, and lead our consciousness to start creating new pathways, whether it be, through the neurotransmitters or, psychologically, emotionally, whatever it may be. And there's just so many options available to us if we give ourselves the opportunity. And, Dr. Jeanine, if a client was asking you, okay, look, I'm really negative, or I always have the same, routine of, my negative reactions, they're in a bad relationship, they're in a bad job. Are there any particular exercises or any advice? What would be a particular advice you would give to a client?
Yeah, I would begin at the beginning, which is really this awareness. Annabelle's talking about being aware of whether you're choosing love or fear. You're choosing love or fear, so be aware, because a lot of us have just default patterns, right? We default to something. Something happens to us that we feel is unpleasant, and we default to fear-based eating, or we default to gossip, or we default to anger, or we default to these emotions or these behaviors that that are not in service to us.
That's a great word.
This awareness is the beginning, to start paying attention, and then start thinking about what you do want. If you want to create love, then start, creating behaviors and actions that are going to, take a chance to step outside your comfort zone and start embracing love. And like Annabelle said, people don't want to be disappointed. They want to really go to fear primarily or go to these fear-related kinds of emotions because they're familiar and they don't want to take a chance. But really, we have to be deliberate, and we have to take some steps to move towards love if we really want to create a different life. So that's why working with a coach, or just working with a group, or working with a good friend, or somebody that is really committed to your well-being, that's where it really comes in handy, because then you can talk about patterns and, have a buddy you're going to work with that keeps you true to this new vision that you have for your life.
Yeah. That's really it. That's really it. It's it's something that we got a little bit earlier, that we got to take that. We have to make the effort to really incorporate these new actions, these new activities, and this new way of looking at our life and looking at our ability and empowerment. It's completely available to us. We know in our heart, we feel it. We know that we are just these beautiful beings waiting to express ourselves, waiting to unfold, and we're always looking for the next process. Where's the next me?